Hello and welcome to MGP264. I'm Kev, and with me as ever, there's Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, it's been a nice, relaxing day, not having to be at work. Oh, I've enjoyed that. Although I have worked very hard today, because I've not retired. Honest.
You're honest?
Well, all of my awful former work colleagues wished me happy retirement in my leaving card, which I think they've been listening to Sheepdog, and it offends me greatly because I have spent more time. I've spent more time working today than I have on any weekday. I've done more work between 8 and 4 today than I have at any point in the last 5 years.
You were in bed at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, but I still did some work. I didn't start work until about 10 o'clock, but I did a solid 3 or 4 hours work today, which is considerably more than I've ever done in a day's teaching. So, officially
you are jacking in your job to just be a man of leisure, sitting around making internet wisecrackery.
But that's all I did at work as well. I just sat around doing nothing.
So you're not really...
I'm just not getting paid for it anymore.
Ah.
Which is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
But this time next week, Anna will be lording it up in Hull. So, there's benefits to it. We get to just disappear off to the sights of Hull and enjoy Hull.
Yeah, but it's covered all your plans already.
Two people talking at once. I have no idea what either of you said.
Yeah, I'm going to be quiet.
No, you talk.
No, I didn't. So I've scuppered his EGX plans already.
My
so if he wanted to go on the Thursday, can't.
Well, yeah, I'll just go on the Friday instead. Yeah, Anna's a monster. Her induction at uni is on the Thursday of EGX, when I was going to go on my own for the day to film the whole thing so that I could get the first EGX video out the way I have done for Comic-Cons and stuff and take over EGX on YouTube. But now, because of university, I won't have the first video out, and I'm very sad.
Well, why don't you go and I'll drive Anna there?
Because it's not about getting her hair there, it's about getting Andy to school. Or potentially sitting with him if he's not at school. Yeah,
okay. No, that makes sense. I'm with you. I might just take him to EGX.
If he's off school, I'll take him to EGX with me. He'll like it. Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll come in on Sheepdog's press pass.
He'd give you a justification for just filming it all, wouldn't he? Like, if you're just wandering around, no one's going to... Not that you need one, but, he's not going to want to run off to everything. You'll be able to really he'll join in filming, won't he?
Yeah. My backup plan to make sure I'm still one of the very first videos is get there proper early on Friday morning, film the whole thing in an hour, and then go and sit and edit and upload it by lunchtime on the Friday. So it'll only be a few hours later than it would have been. But these pesky universities, they don't take my life of leisure into account when they're planning their schedules. And this upsets me. I might write them a strongly worded letter. What are you saying, Pab?
You're there on a Friday.
I'll be there on the Friday, but then going home again and coming back on the Saturday morning with Anna and Sheepdog.
All right, okay. Well, I might see you then. I think I booked the Friday off. Maybe I'll just cancel that then.
You need the Friday off for Play Expo if you're coming with us, because we're going on the Friday to Play Expo.
That one.
Yeah.
I shall jiggle it around them.
Although you might not have anywhere to sleep that night, because I don't think Pab's going to be there on the Friday night. We're doing our scheduling on air again. Is this because we don't have any games to talk about?
Yeah. Let's stop doing that then. I've played some little bits and bobs this week.
Oh, yeah. Tell us all about them.
I wasn't going to go straight into talking about them. Well, Pab already took the wind out of my sails on one of them by telling me that it wasn't a new game. It's actually been out for over a year, and I just can't read. I don't know what happened. I guess they updated the Pocket Mortis game.
Yes.
And I just thought it was a release because they're making a big deal about how it was new and amazing. But basically, I'm surprised it's never come up on the show, unless maybe you talked about it last year, Pab. But
no.
It's basically a Rick and Morty Pokemon mashup where you're Rick, and he basically uses Morty to fight other Ricks from other dimensions with their own alternate dimension Mortys. You catch and collect all different Mortys, pit them against other Ricks, and you have to basically defeat the Council of Ricks and catch them all and be the very best that no one ever was. I'm actually at a point now where I've defeated the Council. There's a statue in my honour of Rick with his little red cape on for being the best Rick of all time. I'm now trying to catch all the Mortys. They've all got hilarious names and features. My current Morty team is Captain Morty, Renegade Morty. So Captain Morty's a pirate. Renegade Morty looks like Rambo. There's Ancient Morty, who's like a skeletal zombie. There's Hammerhead Morty, and then there's just regular, plain old, everyday Morty.
What the hell are you talking about?
You've seen Morty.
What on earth's a Morty when it's at home?
Jesus.
Well, do you know what? That's what people do. They say Morty a hell of a lot. That's what Ricks do. And what's my name? Sheepdog. No, Rick. That's a... Morty's a young lad. It's is it Rick's grandson?
Rick's grandson, yeah.
Rick's an old professor who likes to get swifty.
Likes to what?
And, you're not gonna, if you've not seen Rick and Morty, you're not going to understand any of what he's saying to you.
Nope.
But it's an absolutely mad cartoon series.
Yeah, so good.
About a granddad and his grandson going on mad adventures in space and time and different dimensions, and there's all these different aliens and species and alternate versions of them, and basically because there's so many different alternate versions of them, and Rick's always like the cleverest man in every universe, no matter what universe they're in. There's like a nexus where all the Ricks meet together, and they've built this, like, I don't know, they call it Mortyland, I think, where they all fight their Mortys to see which Mortys are the best. Morty's just a little brown-haired boy, or a reverse mermaid, or a pirate, or depending on what universe he's from. It's very funny and good.
Yeah.
I'd recommend watching the cartoon first, because
you get more of it. Yeah.
The new season comes out in like 2 weeks or a week. I've lost track of what
end of July 30th.
But it's a cracking game, and it's a phone game, free, and I've just been playing it for 2 weeks. It's amazing. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, see, I would have played it, but it's just that it's a phone game for me. It put me off because I don't really want to play a phone game anymore. So
now, because he's just Pokemon and he sees this is pretty much the same. Yeah, keeps wanting to know what Mortys I've caught. Yeah. He found this random Boys Are Stupid teddy bear that my wife used to have in a cupboard, and he's decided it's a Morty, and now he uses it in his Pokemon fights, which I think's brilliant.
Put a program on for him.
Sure. Well, I don't know really, because it's a little bit brutal.
No, it's not. Definitely not appropriate for kids, really.
There's some cracking episodes. They've got this whole episode, Kev, where there's an alien. What's the word? Parasite that gets in your brain and makes you believe you know people, and basically you have nice memories about them, and then that creates them, and then the parasite spreads, and you only know if you've got the parasite because you only remember nice things about the people you're... It's all a bit complicated, but it was very, very clever and good. Anyway, so Pocket Mortys, it's not new. I thought it was new. You should get it, everyone listening, if you haven't played it before. Or if you have played it before, the multiplayer's out now, and we can fight our Mortys on it.
And there you go, maybe that's what the update was, multiplayer.
Yeah, I reckon that was probably it. I also got Micro Machines.
God, this game.
It's got a lot of bad reviews.
I don't like it.
Yeah? What don't you like about it?
I don't like the driving. I think it's all over the place. It doesn't know what he wants to be. I was on the first bit. I was on the tutorial. I was like, okay, I'll give this a go. And the turning to me is just a bit off.
That's Micro Machines, isn't it?
That's it's very much like the old Micro Machines.
But it doesn't. I don't remember it being this bad. Maybe it was because it was like 15 years ago. But it just irritated me no end, and I don't like it.
The way I kind of always feel and describe it is like you're rolling a car around on a dinner table. If you had a toy car and you try to roll it along the table, it kind of turns and moves like that. It feels like what it is, toy cars going around a little racetrack.
The controls just seem a bit off at times.
I've not given it the time and attention I wanted to. When I got the reviews from Codemasters, I was hoping we would have a big race night and all get together and play it, but hasn't happened yet. So if anyone wants to grab it and join us, I think you can do 12-player games on it.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that it'd be fun for a laugh, and then it will just stop after a while. I don't think
it's a budget title, though, isn't it? I think from what I've seen, it's like 20 quid.
Yeah, 15 or 20 quid. So it's not full.
For me, it shouldn't be 20 quid. Should be a 10.
Yeah, there's been a few complaints because it's more scaled back than they expect.
There is no single player, pretty much. Mm-hmm. It's all online multiplayer. The multiplayer itself is kind of buggy and janky at times. I played 3 or 4 races when you sent me the code, and basically I raced around with nobody. There was all the people in the game, but it wasn't showing them moving, so they were all just sat at the start line. But I could tell I was like how I was in the race because my position kept changing, and I'd occasionally just randomly blow up. Obviously, someone had hit me in the game, but I wasn't showing that because they were all just stood on the start line, and they all blocked me on the start line as well. They weren't invisible and ghosts or anything. They all just piled up on the start line, so I had to wade my way through them all as well. And I've seen many videos where people win these races by they fall off the track but don't explode. So you're like, I think it's elimination where we are the last one alive sort of thing, and you just don't explode. And you can see him on the floor. You can see him in the background, like in distance, just riding around on the floor. And the last person on the track dies, and it goes to the bottom guy on the floor, and he goes, he's won the round. And you're like, well, hang on a minute, that makes no sense. Surely you're diving, you've come off the track, but I don't know. It just seems kind of buggy.
I guess I got the impression that they were perhaps bringing it back as like a hey Micro Machines.
I feel like I don't know whether they did it because there's a number of games that have gone like the spiritual successor sort of thing to this. Do you remember Micro Machines on the Mega Drive?
Yeah.
This is the next version of this. Like, I think it's Toy Box Turbos or something like that on the PC. I think it's on the PlayStation as well. And there's other games that sprung up and they've gone, oh, hang on a minute, it's someone eating our dinner here. Let's get on it. Let's get this game back out again. And
I was thinking maybe they're thinking like, if everyone goes nuts and tries it out and it gets a bit of buzz, they'll like patch it and make a better version, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
if they make enough money here to make the sequel, then maybe it'll get better. Perhaps they're starting from the ground up just to see where they can get to. But I don't know.
I don't know. I find it's all right. It's all right. The steering and controls getting used to, but it's very reminiscent of the old game. I like the icons that you get as a character. They are the old images from the old Mega Drive games, all the cartoony characters that you can see. I'm not so sure on the Nerf weapons sort of thing. I was alright at first, and I was like, they just got a Nerf sponsorship, and they just put Nerf guns in the game as well. And you're like, oh, it is like a toy sort of game, isn't it? Like a toy box sort of game, but I don't know if I like it or not, having the Nerf gun stuff in it everywhere. I
suppose we just expect a bit more longevity nowadays, but
yeah, like I said, it's kind of bit bare bones. There is the race mode, like arena mode, where you just go in like this big arena and you just drive around and just be the last one standing, and elimination is racing with the last one standing. And then that is it. And there's like a multiplayer, like local co-op skirmish mode, isn't there, where you can play all locally, but there is no single player sort of racing in it, akin to something like Mario Kart or whatever. There is an actual multiplayer, single player and a multiplayer portions of the game. So I don't know. I can't decide whether it's. I feel like it's probably not worth the 20 quid. Is it worth 20 quid?
I'd say it would drop down.
If it was a bit less money, I would say it's all right. It's not horrendous, but it's not the best racing game out there.
It wasn't supposed to be, though, was it?
What do you mean?
The best racing game out there.
No, but people go in there with
did any adults like this game years ago, or was it just a kids' game? And perhaps it was just not ever any good.
Yeah, Micro Machines. Micro Machines was like quite an iconic title on the Mega Drive, kids. I think. What do you say?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, Kev's point is we were only children, so our opinion is of a child's, whereas, I don't know, you need someone like AD who was alive then, an adult.
I feel you could go back to play Micro Machines now on the Mega Drive and probably have a better time than what you would on the new one.
Maybe at their peak, but even then, maybe you'd only play it for a couple of hours before going back to your life.
Oh, yeah. No, that might be the case, but I just don't know.
I remember playing that to death, and that and games like Road Rash and things like that, which I don't think I'd enjoy so much now, even Road Rash, but that was amazing as a kid.
Yeah. Fair point.
Another racer, it seems to be Racing Week, but I don't remember ever asking for this, and I even messaged Kev saying, do you and Anna want this at all? But we got the Cars 3 Driven to Win.
Oh, okay.
On the Xbox. And
is it any good?
Again, I've not put a lot of time into it because I just haven't had the time, but I've played it a little bit with my daughter, and I mean, it's okay, it's fine. It was better to play than the Micro Machines in terms of driving. Out of the two, this feels more modern, but it's just a fun sort of low red Mario Kart, I suppose.
It looked a bit like that because I saw it on Switch and what's this here? I find it strange that Warner Brothers are producing Disney games now.
I guess it's all different arms, though, isn't it? Like they'll probably just. I imagine Disney are so big they'd say, "Look, we want this tie-in game. We'll sell the rights to somebody."
I think Disney just don't want anything to do with the actual producing of games anymore. They closed all the Disney studios and they've gone, we need a game out, and then Warner Brothers have gone, we'll do it.
Well, it just makes sense for them. I'm almost certain it'll just be, we've got Frozen coming out. Who wants the rights to the music? Who wants the rights to the game? Who wants the rights to selling all those books where they shorten the story down to 20 pages and 400 words or whatever it is they put in them? It's all ticked off. They've all paid Disney money. They just take their set million or whatever, and then Warner Brothers are told to go and make a profit out of it, and I imagine Warner Brothers just offered the most. The thing is, my kids have never really watched the Cars films, so a lot of it was lost on us. We were kind of just sat there thinking, well, fair enough. I just don't remember asking for it, and part of me is wondering whether it wouldn't be the same people, would it? I was going to say the thought process through my mind was that maybe we'd talked about Project Cars or something like that, and they've just got confused, but that's not made by Warner, so I genuinely don't know. I keep meaning to read through my emails and see whether it ever came up or whether I just went. I always try and say, next time you got a game coming out, just send it. Save me an email. So when it appeared, I thought maybe that's what they'd done, but it can't be the only game that's come out since the last Warner Brothers game we covered.
What was it? Warner Brothers do the Lego games, the Shadow of Mordor, Batman.
We got Batman. I'm hoping we'll get the Mordor game.
Yeah.
We'll see. I added the guy on LinkedIn. I've been doing a bit of a fun and games on LinkedIn. Oh, Kev, you'll be pleased to know. Just going into Football Manager for you a little bit. I'm networking a bit on the old LinkedIn. I realised that
I've already got the whole studio on my LinkedIn.
Hang on, no, I got Brian Swanson. As I told you before, and then you to go and do it. I've now got all of the Sky Sports women that work behind the scenes, but I've also got Titus Bramble, Michael Essien.
Why?
A load of people who work for them because they just kept coming up as recommended contacts. So I clicked it, and then it'd be like, Michael Essien has accepted your connection. Then I'd just be like, what? So I just started going down a rabbit hole, seeing how many random people would accept. I've got quite a few pending Football Managers. There's quite a few fake ones on there as well that I ignored. Like Jose Mourinho, he's not really on there. Fergie's on there, but I have to guess his email address, and that seems a bit difficult.
Fergie at gmail.com.
Sir Alex at manunited.com, probably.
But he's on there as like a public speaker and stuff like that, which makes me laugh. But no, I was thinking if I get a few more of them, then we'll have to start hooking you up with them. It's like this. I suddenly thought the social media people from all the different football clubs would be a good idea, because whenever you play a STEM Football Manager, you could tap them up for a bit of publicity.
Indeed, I could.
Yeah. But they're my three things. I haven't really got any other games to talk about. I have started a harebrained scheme, but we'll talk about that later if you like.
Splendid. Who else has got games then?
I do.
Tell us about your games.
Well, I received a copy of Yonder, the Cloudcatcher Chronicles.
Oh yeah.
This game has no violence or killing or enemies or anything like that. There's nothing. It is basically you going around this world and collecting stuff and buildings. It's like Farmville with Stardew Valley. It's just a nice game. So I got it last week, but obviously we were in Blackpool, so I didn't get to play it till Tuesday, and I think it came out on Tuesday as well. And you are on a boat, and you're on a voyage to find this island that no one knows is there. Everyone's saying there's nothing there, and you're like, yes it is, let's go there. And as you get there, you're shipwrecked and you're on your own, and you start in a cave and you walk out the cave, and I kid you not, you put the new Zelda opening with this opening, I kid you not, it's exactly the same. The way it comes out, and it is all like, you know how it comes out the cave?
Yes. Yeah.
You have the sweeping loveliness of the landscape. I kid you not, it is the same.
Interesting.
Did you not? Did somebody else play this? I swear somebody told me they had a game that did the same thing.
I don't know. This only came out this week. And so yeah, that opens, and then you basically meet this little creature thing. So you know, like the little creatures you find in Zelda, well, you find them in this game, and you keep them, and they help you with I think it's called the Void or something like that. And there's these like big areas that you need to clear. You have to have so many of these little creature things to clear it, and they're like magical. And basically you just go around completing little quests. So you've got like, go and cut down 5 trees. I can go and cut down 5 trees, and then you can make this, and then you can make that, and that's it. But you make farms, and you can get animals, and you can fish, and you can be all these different kind of jobs. So you can be a carpenter or a chef. I don't know what it is, but it's really nice, and it's just you
love a game with chores, don't you?
I do.
It's like Animal Crossing all over again.
Yeah, and like the story in it, there's a light story going through it, but you just, as and when you find the story bits, you do them, but you just get given quests all the time, and then you just go off exploring. It's just basically a big explorathon, and I like that. Like, there was one bit, it's on my Twitter, there was a river, you can't swim, and this river was quite deep, so I thought, you know what, let's get over this river, I'm going to go to where the rocks are and jump over the rocks. And I jumped over the rocks, jumped over this last rock, and it says, it was from the game fans, like, you're not supposed to be here. I broke the game. Well, I didn't break the game, but I did something that they didn't want people to do, and they put a sign that saying you're not supposed to be here. And I thought, oh, that's clever, because obviously you gotta. I needed to get over there, and there was no other way of doing it. I think I need to start it again, because I have just gone, oh, what's over there? And then I go over there and go, oh, what's over there? And I just keep going and go. So I'm going away from the starting area, and it's not hard, but like the things I need to open where this purpley wibbly wobbly stuff is, I don't have enough little minion things to open these up, so I'm going far into the game and not exploring where I started. So I think I'll go back and start again. It's pretty, it's just nice, gentle game, and it's lovely. If you haven't got anything to play over the summer and you don't want to go out and kill everything, this would be good. It's just you can play it with your kids. It's lovely. So I've been playing that. I also got my hands on Call of Duty, the one that just came out in November.
Infinite?
Yes,
Infinite
I got
Warfare?
that. Mm-hmm.
Jon Snow in it?
Is he? I have no idea. Don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It basically was £7 on Amazon Prime Day. So
it's a good deal.
It was free if you were a student, or £7 if you had a normal Prime, which we do.
Yeah.
So I got it. I don't see a problem with it. I think it's really good.
It's a good game. It's one of the better games that they said it was one of the better story mode that they've had. The single player stuff has been very good. I think it was the multiplayer that kind of went, it's not as good as our previous ones.
Because I played Modern Warfare 4 when it came out, like long time ago. I played the one after that, but then I kind of just got disinterested in it. But I remember seeing this at E3, and when I was watching, I was like, oh my god, I don't know what this is. This looks amazing. And then it was like, it's Call of Duty, and I was like, okay, Call of Duty. But obviously, I got it for £7. So I played some of the single player. I haven't played it all, and then I thought, I'll go on the zombies and see what that's all about. That is mad. That section is mental. Because I don't have the season pass or anything, so I just have the basic first map, and it's basically you're in the 80s.
Yes.
And it's like the weirdest thing. Like, because I just jumped in the game, I didn't know what I was doing, and basically it's like Horde kind of. And you've got you have to board up the windows.
Yep.
And they come in waves. You get pickups and random tarot cards going on in there. And you open
abilities.
Like you build up some kind of power, and then you unleash it. You pick a card.
You get an ultimate.
It's so weird. And then you open different areas. Now I'm not sure why you're opening all these areas. Why would you open them all? You've got to put the power back on, don't you? Or something?
You've got to get to a certain point. You clear a wave. You get enough. You earn money through killing the zombies, and you unlock a next zone, and then you've got to get to a certain point to complete to finish the games. Okay. So you've got to keep progressing through the map. When it progressively gets more and more, there's more windows to forward up, there's more areas to keep clear and what have you, and
it gets a bit
to collect. It's hectic. You get probably past level 15 or so, and it starts getting a bit bananas, going on, and I
don't think I've ever got past wave 20, because it gets really hectic. Because I don't understand how the weapons work. I don't understand how to get more ammo for the one I'm using. Because I'm out of ammo. I'll go back to because you just pick you pick up weapons here, there, and everywhere. And I keep going back, but then when I keep going back, I get eaten because I don't have any ammo. So I don't quite understand the mechanics of the game, but it is fun. You have 80s music and 80s the stuff around. It's really fun.
Celebrities are in it, because there's umpteen different celebrities in it each year, isn't there? I can't remember who's in it this year. There's Hasselhoff in it this year.
I have seen him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
But it's just the weirdest thing I've ever played. For what the main game is to this, it's like two different things. It's like, whoa, what's going on? I thought they would want to keep the type of game through everything, but this is completely. This could be like an add-on, separate thing on its own. It wouldn't. It just. I don't know. Just seems a bit
kind
weird.
of is, but
if it was, I'd probably buy it. It sounds awesome, but I don't really want the rest of it.
Yeah. It's a big thing now, zombies. Zombies used to be the Treyarch thing that they used to do. Treyarch was the ones that did Black Ops and what have you, and they started putting zombies mode in, and it became that popular that the Activision went, everyone does it now, not just Treyarch. Every single thing he puts a zombies mode in because it's a big thing for people. People like this. It's basically a horde mode, and people love it. And they put these wacky stories in. This is where they get all the crazy antics going on with the celebrities that they can throw into it.
It's even on the first level. On the first level, when you open an area, there is a ride that you ride on, and you shoot like cardboard aliens, but the zombies are coming through there as well. And I was like, this is mental. This is absolutely mental.
Yeah, this is where the developers get to have a bit of fun with it and just have a bit of creative license just to mess around and put some wacky stuff into the game that wouldn't get into the story mode or the multiplayer because it has to be zoned into a particular time and event sort of thing in this multiplayer and the story stuff. But the zombies just a free for all craziness. It's great. It's great. I never have any. I've always liked zombies, but nobody I know plays it. Nobody plays it at all. So
I think you'll find Anna.
On your own. I know. Yeah. To be fair, I don't have it on. I've got it on PC. So.
I only have it.
That's the thing. I'm trying to restock my PlayStation games since I've got the Pro, but I can't justify buying Call of Duty games when I don't really play them. And like I said, I don't know anyone to play them with.
Do you know Anna?
So, I do know. You've
known her for quite some time.
But it is a fun game. People should get this if you don't already have it. Like, I don't know how popular Call of Duty is. I know it's popular, but it's normally like teenagers and yeah. But it's fun. And what else have I played this week on? Let's go up. I played the Destiny 2 beta. I gave that a try.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't really know what to say. Like, I don't know Destiny as like in depth of like loads of people, but basically you're riding in a spaceship, and then you need to go home, and these rhino kind of creatures, like from Doctor Who.
Yeah, the big fellas. They are massive.
Kind of start killing your home. Is it home base? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
But they start they're blowing up that, and as they're doing that, they're putting this big contraption on the Seeker. Is that what it's called?
The Traveller.
Yeah, that's it, the Traveller, and they're putting this big thing on it to cocoon it. I'm not quite sure what was going on, but I played it. I did the first thing that I had to do, so I did a lot of shooting, and then you went into space. I don't quite understand what was going on because they kind of say, they take your powers away. Not your powers, that little thing that's with you.
You get the ghost, yeah.
They basically make it go away, like they kill it. I'm not sure if they're killing it, but they make sure like it's not working.
Yeah.
And then that ends, and then you're in the sky, going, "What do you want to do? Do you want to go cooperative?" It's like, no. Do you want to go to the Citadel? Is that what it's like? No. And it's like one mission to do. I did the mission, and then all your powers back. So I'm not quite sure what that meant. Yeah. But I played it once. Didn't feel I needed to play it again, like some people, because I'm like is it a week of beta, because it came out first on PlayStation, wasn't it? This week.
The open beta started today.
Yeah, because it was like PlayStation, Xbox, and open. So I played it the other day. It was fine. I don't really have much to say because I don't understand if it was good or not. It worked. I'm fine. That's about it. I've also played The Division for 10 minutes and then turned it off because I just couldn't bother. I played Dying Light again for about an hour, but I couldn't be bothered. I also played Orcs Must Die Unchained that I saw last night. I put it in this. It's funny, right? Because you go on and you have to do a tutorial, and the tutorial, like the narrator is quite funny, and it's showing you like the basics of the game, and then it puts you into a game. And it's just basically putting traps on a floor and then shooting anything that comes near you so they don't get to your portal. I don't know how to get different characters, how to play different style. It just seems a bit boring to me. Where you just put trap. It's just a long room.
Tower defense. It's a first-person tower defense game.
So I was like, okay, I'll play it now. I don't really need to play more. And so I've gone back to the old faithful of Borderlands 2. I'm just gonna go through that again because I like it, and there wasn't any Borderlands 3 this year at E3, so I have another year enjoying Borderlands 2. I don't think I'll go and play pre-sequel because that was not very good in my opinion.
No, I don't think it was as the same. It wasn't as good a standard for me.
No, the humour in that game was lost on me.
It felt like,
I've said
for
this
me,
before. It was too Australian for me.
Well, it felt like it was made by a different team, and it was made by two Australian people. So.
I was just like, what? No, because I know where they were trying to be funny, but for me, I was like, I don't know why that's funny. So I was just like, ugh. So I've got the Handsome collection, but I'll just play Borderlands 2 because that is far superior to pre-sequel. I wish they would bring out. I know it's like been the generation of HDs, but I wish they would bring out Borderlands, the first one. I would love to play that again on the PlayStation 4. I know it might be on PlayStation now, but I ain't gonna pay $17.99 a month for that because.
Is that how much it is?
Something like that, isn't it?
Can't you play it on Xbox on this backward compatibility thing?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's $11.99.
Oh.
You don't own Borderlands on the Xbox 360?
No, but I can go
on disc. We do.
On the PC, but Kevin won't let me.
What do you mean?
Kevin? Because we've got all your stuff on it.
Yeah,
because the desk's untidy.
He's like, I'll monitor it, how much it gets used, and I'm going to take it outside. Well, I can't use it because it's covered in your stuff. If
he lets you use his computer, you'll discover how little work he does.
No, not his computer, the one that's in the front room.
Look, anything that allows you online, Anna, anything that allows you to see the internet shows how little Kev does.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have you know I'm doing double duty right now because in addition to talking to you lot, I'm also editing a video.
You're playing FIFA.
No, I've stopped that now.
You're a monster.
I can hear you clicking.
Get on with the podcast, Chapman.
I will do when we stop talking about games.
But, that's all.
That's the way the news goes.
I have actually played a game this week, though, on the topic of games. In addition to my normal games, I have played a new game this week, and it's not just a new game for Kev, it's a game that's new out this week. I played Fire Pro Wrestling World, and it's awesome. It's I don't even know how to describe it, because it looks terrible. Graphically, it looks like a SNES game. And it just looks like a really basic wrestling thing, but it's totally, completely customizable. Everything about it you can customize. So you can down everything from all the wrestlers to the rings to the music to the arena. So you can, and because it's got on PC and there's Steam Workshop stuff on there, every wrestler, every arena, everything that's ever been in wrestling is there available to download. Yeah. So I've already had like the internet darling indie guys against WWF wrestlers from the 80s, and Kenny Omega against Andre the Giant is a fun match to be a part of. I liked it very much. But it's not like a button mashing console wrestling game either. It's very, I don't even know what the word is, strategic, I guess. It's all about timing stuff right. I've been playing it on a keyboard because I couldn't be bothered to find a controller to plug into it, and I don't think I'm missing out by playing it just on the keyboard, because you just use the arrow keys to move around the ring, and then everything else is to do with the timings of pressing the buttons. So I don't know that I'm missing out on anything by just using a keyboard for it. And it's not even about the matches themselves. I'm having more fun just finding wrestlers and finding different setups and setting up I've got my current WWE setup and my classic WWE setup and my different stables from different generations and putting different wrestlers up against each other. It's got online multiplayer that I've not even touched yet. But I'm very much looking forward to getting a part of. It's 4-player online multiplayer, and with all these customizable options in there, it just seems awesome. It's on Steam Early Access. It's going to be out on PlayStation 4, I think, later this year or early next year as well. And I think it's 15 quid. I got a review copy of it through, so there you go, full disclosure. But I think it's 15 quid. But it's awesome. You need to try it.
Right.
Go buy Fire Pro Wrestling World. It's just brilliant. Go buy it now. Pab, have you bought it yet?
I'm Googling it.
You just put it into Steam and then buy it, and then we can wrestle each other on the internet using keyboards.
Yeah. All right.
What more could you want?
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah.
Seriously, I've never had so much fun browsing the Steam Workshop. And by the way, the Steam Workshop's quite clunky, and they need to fix that and make it so it's less rubbish and more searchable. But there's just people creating stuff on there all the time. And as I've seen, someone this week has created me on WWE 2K17. I now want Kevs on Fire Pro Wrestling World, so I can put myself up against all the wrestlers from all of history and prove that I am the best wrestler who has ever lived.
Can I then make Pocket Kevs where I travel, lots of me characters travel around fighting their Kevs against one another?
Do it.
You have Reverse Mermaid Kev and Captain Kev.
Do it, Sheepdog.
Someone with better talent than me can do that. I can't be bothered. I've got another thing to be doing.
Other irons in the fire.
Yeah.
Lazy monster.
But no, Pudsey the dog died.
I don't even know what that is.
Did you not know?
What's a Pudsey the dog?
He won Britain's Got Talent, had a movie.
Really?
Had a movie?
He had a lot of money.
He's dog with a lot of money.
In the world. Yeah.
Just realised what you're on about. We meant Pudsey the Bear.
Pudsey the Bear's a fictional character, Pab.
He takes it, easy now. He's lost an eyeball.
Yeah, he's in retirement.
Although I think it's a benefit sheet, because if you lift up that eye patch, he's got an eye underneath it.
I don't know if you get benefits for having just one eye, Sheepdog.
You probably do, because you
don't. If you do, I'm poking one of my eyes out so that I never have to work again.
Yeah, you don't have to work again as it is. You're retired.
I'm not retired. The crucial difference between me and a retired person is they get a pension income. I don't have that. Give me money, Sheepdog. Give me some money. No?
Hopefully I'll have lots.
And then you can give me some.
I decided on your advice to take up blogging again to just to try and get back into writing and stuff. But you know how sometimes when I'm doing something I'm just an idiot and I make massive mistakes and it all goes a bit wrong. So the last site I had was called Sheepdog Writes. And because I don't have any ounce of originality in my head, I just went to GoDaddy and created sheepdogwrites.com. And as I was buying it, I realised there was a special offer on where if I bought hosting, I could get the domain for free. So I went back, typed in Sheepdog Writes, added it to my cart, clicked go, paid the money, off I went. About an hour and a half later, I'd finished setting up the website and I set myself up a little email address and I'd started making it look like how I wanted it to look and all of this. And then I wrote in the address on my browser and went to sheepdogwrites.com and it said this site does not exist. And I thought, well, hang on, I just spent an hour and a half making it. It must exist. So then I went back and looked. I'd accidentally bought sheepdogrewrites.com.
How have you managed to do that?
I don't know. Sheepdog Rights was still in my cart, so I thought, oh well, I've got a degree in IT. I'll just buy sheepdogrights.com for £1, and I'll do some jiggery pokery, and I'll get the URLs to point where I want them to point. But another half an hour passed. I was on hold to GoDaddy, and the nice kind of American lady sat and sorted it out for me. But while I was on hold for about 15 minutes, I was laughing to myself, thinking, like, what the bloody hell would I want sheepdog rewrites for? Like, what on earth kind of use could I have for that? And by the time she'd come back on the phone, I actually wish I hadn't asked her to switch it. I was suddenly thinking sheepdog rewrites could be my other site or page or whatever, where instead of writing my normal blog posts and whatever nonsense I want to write, I rewrite the stories to other people's works from stuff I like. So what I've got now is Sheepdog Rights and Sheepdog Rewrites both go to the same site, but I've got a page on there called Sheepdog Rewrites, and I'm basically going to, every few days or whenever I can think of one, I'm going to write a rewrite where I basically just change the story of something I didn't particularly enjoy or thought I could have done better at. And so just to kick it off, I rewrote Prison Break Season 5. I wrote a Mario and Sonic crossover. I'm in the process of writing a Pokemon episode where Team Rocket win. I'm just basically messing around, but having a laugh. I'm quite enjoying it. It's much better than what I was going to do, which was basically just start writing about my day and then seeing where it took me. And I'll probably still do that, but yeah, I was just sat there writing away thinking, this feels way more fun. And I'm not expecting people to be like rushing to read it or anything like that. I'm not writing it for anything other than the fact I enjoy it, and that's exactly what I've needed. So yeah, I couldn't believe it. A massive mistake, but I managed to just pull a site out of my backside that I quite enjoy.
You're a weirdo, aren't you? How do you do these things? Why was Sheepdog Rewrites even in your basket to begin with? How did that come about? That's the story everyone needs to know.
Well, I think what happened was when I went back and typed in Sheepdog Rights, I think it basically said, you can't buy that, someone else has already bought it, so here's like the next best thing. And I didn't read it, I just assumed, because I already had Sheepdog Rights in my basket, it reserved that and wouldn't let anyone else buy it. So it just threw up a list of suggestions, and because the one I wanted is normally at the top, like if I write 123.com, it's going to have 123 as the top option and 456 as a suggestion or whatever. And that's what it had done. It had basically gone, you can't have Sheepdog Rights, but you can have Sheepdog Rewrites. And I hadn't read it. I just went along thinking, yeah, whatever, give me a site, shut up. And I can't believe I went to the site so many times. I'd made the email address. I'd set it all up and whatever. It was essentially a functioning website before I realised. Yeah. I can only assume I was just a little bit preoccupied and tired, but yeah, they're a sneaky bunch because they basically upsold me there into having 2 domains instead of 1. She didn't even offer to cancel it. She was just like, yeah, don't worry, they both point to the same thing now, and rights is the primary and that's the secondary. And I kept thinking, well, I don't know whether to cancel it. And then I thought of an idea, but I kept thinking she'll ask me if I want to, and I'll have to really decide. And she just didn't bother, so I've got that for a year. But that could be it now. I could be telling this story on Parkinson when they defrost him and have me on stage talking about my illustrious writing career.
Sheepdog. You could have used it to rewrite all our terrible novels.
Well, I probably will eventually when I run out of steam. I'm currently hoping that they call me in to rewrite the DC universe, to fix some of the mistakes they made, or when the Dark Tower film comes out, they'll be like, oh God, what did we do? Let's get Sheepdog in to write the sequel. And, that's my plan. I'm just going to build it all up and then start going, do you know what you did there? You shut the bed. You need to let me fix it.
Oh, Sheepdog. Has anyone else played any games this week?
Yeah. Yes.
Go on then, little fella.
As always, I always do. So, I played Micro Machines. We mentioned that. No more needs to say about that. I played the Destiny 2 beta this afternoon, and I like it. I like the Destiny 2.
I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't know if it was any better than before.
Yeah. I mean, what you was describing before, where basically you go back to the Citadel or wherever it is you go to, and you go and see the Travelers thing, and basically the enemies take the Travelers' powers, and the powers are given to you by the Traveler, which makes the ghost die, and then you sort of like fade out, don't you? And then he kicks you off the end, and that is basically, from what I gather, that is basically showing the end of Destiny 1, because none of the Destiny 1 stuff carries over.
Right, okay.
So that is what I think this is where they go. That is your old character off the side of that ledge, dead. You'll start afresh in the Destiny 2 sort of main game stuff with a whole new character you create, and you do it all again. So yeah, that is the gist of what that means, is what I'm presuming it means anyway. But the shooting and everything, I will continue to say this, Destiny has the best shooting mechanics in any game ever. It feels so good to shoot the guns in that game. Every gun feels different, and there's so many different cool guns and different stats on them and different rarities and all this sort of thing, and new powers, and there's like there's new abilities like a dodge in there. There's an air dodge or something like that. You double tap circle, I think, and you dodge around the world, and there's a healing circle I had as an ability. It's just putting more and more things into it. And I played one match in a multiplayer in the Crucible, and I did alright. I didn't do too bad. It definitely felt like I was a bit behind on the multiplayer.
Yeah.
I felt like I jumped into a game where people are already been 2 days in, 2 days deep, just hammering the Crucible. But I didn't do too badly for myself. And I've already pre-ordered this on PC. But I might be.
I do. I have it pre-ordered on Xbox One.
I'll be tempted to buy it. I'll probably end up pre-ordering it again on PS4. I'll probably double dip on this because I know full well it's fine, because I know everybody I know is playing it on the PC. Everyone, all people on Discord might be playing it are going to get it on the PC. So right, okay, I'll play it with them on the PC. But I can't realistically stand up in multiplayer with PC gamers and me still using a controller. I'll just keep getting battered constantly, especially with these sort of games where you can't really get away with it. So I'm tempted just to buy Destiny on the PlayStation, so not solely for the multiplayer, but because I want to play a multiplayer game like this. Which leads me now on to my next game, which I've started playing Black Ops 3 again. I don't know why.
Okay.
Not even single player. I started solely to play multiplayer, and I don't know why. I was like, I want a multiplayer game like I used to have. Just not like Battlefield was too big for me. Battlefield was too expansive, and I want a game that is like sort of closed arena shooter sort of thing, similar to like the old Call of Duty games and the newer ones. So I thought, right, okay, I'll play this Black Ops 3. I don't know why. I've started watching what's he called off of YouTube now? The guy who was in between is James Buckley. You see, he's got a YouTube channel. And I started watching him, and all he pretty much plays is Black Ops 3, and I was like, oh, I can do that. No, I can't do that. I can't do what he does. He's really good at it. I'm pretty bad at it. But it just itches that itch that I have for just a jump in, jump out shooter that I can play and get angry at very easily and calm down quickly from it, because it is in and out sort of thing. It's like 10-minute games, if that. Whereas I've started playing Overwatch and just get furious immediately because people are idiots. And because I played that much of Overwatch now, I can't play it without getting angry anymore. I need to play it with people rather than just randoms, because it's just so infuriating. When games go for 20 minutes at a time and you lose because they're idiots, it just drives me up the wall. So I've not really played that for a while. Speaking of jump in, jump out, I've jumped back into Rocket League just simply because I like playing that is a jump in 5-minute game done and stop again. And then they've got Rick and Morty actual items in the game now, so they've got the flags, car toppers and decals and stuff like that for the cars and what have you. So it's encouraged me to play more of it because I've got the Cromulon head now, Sheepdog, for the top of the car, which is really cool. I just like getting all the different things that you unlock. So I will continue to play that because I just like playing it. Just every now and again, I just want to drive around and muck about, just trying to play football with cars. It's just something I want to do. And finally, I am still playing Witcher 3 for some stupid reason. I'm not even playing the PS4 version, which I played last time. Last time I thought I'll just start it again, and I've gone back on the PC version, just cleaning up the mess of just all the different side quests and stuff. I've now finished all secondary quests that I had that weren't Gwent based, collecting Gwent cards, and I finished most of the treasure hunt as well. So now I've got basically contracts left. But I went back across the world map and looked at Velen, and there is about 50 or so question marks on the map, and I went, wow, I really just hammered through the main story in this game. Because there's like 50 odd in Velen, 30 odd in Skellige, and I'm like, I didn't do anything. I clearly just went mainlined it towards the end of that game because I didn't. Because White Orchard at the start of the game, I just went round every single question mark and cleared the entire area. Just didn't happen for Velen or any to go any further on. So I've done a few of them as well, and I still remain. That is probably my favourite game of all time now. It's just amazing, and I love it. What can I say? And that's about it, really. That is it for games. Tell you what we haven't mentioned though. We haven't mentioned where we were at weekend.
Where on earth were we at the weekend?
We were in Blackpool.
Sunny Blackpool,
weren't we?
We were. And a splendid time was had by all.
We were. Yes. Very splendid.
Yeah. It was excellent, wasn't it?
It was excellent.
Did have a good time at Blackpool. Yeah.
The North's an odd place, isn't it?
I don't know. What do you mean by that?
They're not a friendly bunch.
Yeah, they're quite a weird bunch.
The tram
yeah, I've never come across such aggressive, rude people.
I don't know. I don't know what you mean. Maybe I just got used to it.
That wasn't on the tram. That was on the train home. Do you remember?
Oh.
It wasn't even them. It was the what they call conductors. They were just
they were
very nice.
Yeah, a bit straight.
Like if you're if you're in front of the customers order, you don't treat them like children. It just baffles me that they're still going because they're just horrible to everybody.
I think that's the only thing that gets through to them up here.
Yeah. So apart from that, I had a great time.
By odd, I meant the giant drinks and food and the people walking around in blackface.
But that
was pretty weird.
That was seen, a few times, I think, on stag do's. I told you, it's one of them things of stag do's and hen nights are a big Blackpool.
I think it just felt like we'd gone back in time, like 20 years or 25, 30 years. It was interesting like that. And the amount of pound shops was quite surprising.
Oh, that was amazing. I love pound shops.
But no, I had a great time. Did a lot of Pokemon going.
You did, Sheepdog, yeah.
Yeah, did. Everyone noticed on the videos. The amount of comments I got. Tell Sheepdog to get off his phone.
I haven't looked at your videos. I'll have to have a peep.
Every time you're on camera, you just got your phone in your hand looking at it because you're poking the whole time because you're obsessed, man.
I am obsessed. It was great.
Yeah. So we were there for.
No, there was no reason we were there. I don't think there's anything we need to refer to. No.
Oh.
If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. That's always been my policy.
Well, I
okay.
That's never been your policy. You're the horriblest person ever.
That's a good point.
Play Expo Blackpool exists, doesn't it? They were nice enough to let us in for free. And I encourage them to do that again for the Manchester one. Please don't make us go to the Blackpool one again. Good people of replay events. I
think what your problem is that you're spoiled. You go to all these other ones, and I think you're just a little bit spoiled. That's why it wasn't your thing. But if you live up there, and you don't live near
if they live up there, they live
or
near
London.
Manchester. They could go to the Manchester one in October.
But maybe they don't want to go over to Manchester.
But let's be honest, Kev. There's not a great deal of difference.
The thing with the Manchester one, they at least make an effort to have some new stuff there and some indie stuff there, and I don't know. The
thing is, what they do with Blackpool Play Expo in Manchester is it's after the EGX and what have you. So more publishers are more putting the newer stuff out there, and they're putting it out to get it out ready for launch. It's closer to launch for a lot of these games that are going out there and Play Expo. Play Blackpool is middle of summer. No one's putting any new games out there that are willing to put onto this show floor before EGX or E3's gone. But you know what I mean. I don't know. Maybe it's just to focus on a much more retro stuff. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
To be fair to it, it's a retro event. It advertises itself as a retro event. That's exactly what it is. If you're into that, then you'd probably have a good time. I'm not even a little bit into that. So there was nothing there for me. The car boot sale area of it was a real disappointment. That's kind of what I was going for. I was hoping for a full-on car boot sale experience.
Yeah,
and there wasn't.
We found a lot of the stuff cheaper in what was it, B&M?
Yeah.
To me, it seemed like it's just a much scaled down. It's like they've got a small.
How much are tickets
convention
to the Blackpool event? I mean, I'm being mean. It might only be a £5 to get in which case it is good value for money. You get £5 worth of value. If they're charging £25 a ticket, then they're crazy. It's probably
I mean, I can find out for you, but I'm looking it up now. I mean, it just feels like a scale down, but you've got to look at the size of the room as well. The rooms were nowhere near the same scale. It was just definitely it was like a small hall for
size-wise,
the
stuff that was their size. It was closer to MGP264 in Nottingham last year than any other gaming event we've ever been to. I don't think they had that much more game content than we had. They just had the shops as well.
They had a lot of arcade machines and
okay, so but they were across the road for us in the NVA.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just for me, like Anna said, it's very much a thing that if you don't go to all these expos and this comes around once a year to your area, if this is the only thing I went to once a year, I would look forward to going to this once a year, just because it's how often do you get to go to see all these arcade machines and pinball tables and old school consoles and stuff like that. What if you said the one thing you did it locally, I'd go to that, just have a fun day out, just looking at all this old stuff, looking at all this nerdy stuff. But we go to so many conventions and are in that loop, so we're so into that loop sort of thing, that it's just something that we don't really consider doing anymore. Like you say, the amount of games in there that you look and you go, I can play that on a retro Pi now. I don't really need to come here to do this sort of thing and play Millipede or play the Atari games or what have you it is. It just doesn't necessarily appeal to us. But if I were a kid, like I say, if I only came to this once a year, if I were a kid and my parents said to me, "Here you go, here's a tenner for a ticket, I want to spend a day in there," and I would lose my mind into somewhere like that. To do that as a kid. It's just something that probably we wouldn't do these days because it's not something we'd look to do in our general day-to-day life. We're access to it. So.
I want to look through your videos, and there's only one comment about me being on the phone. I'm more interested in the person who asks what me and Pab bring to the party because we look miserable every time you get your camera out. And I'm like, you try walking around with someone who just starts filming every 5 seconds. You have no choice but to be in the background. Like, we don't mind doing it.
That's just my natural northern face. That's what I look like. miserable.
I'm watching the video where he comments it, and it's just Kev talking as normal, completely fine, and the three of us just getting on with our business because we don't want to invade his work, you know.
Yeah, with the cartwheeling in the background or something. I don't know what he wants from me.
I would like cartwheeling in the background. That would be pretty cool.
If there is room at the next one we go to, you will see me cartwheeling in the back.
You're being held to that.
Cartwheeling through EGX and kicking people in the face, and I'm just bustling through people. Try me an empty car park, then maybe we'll do it. No, yeah, that was Blackpool for you. It was a good.
Blackpool itself was fantastic. It was a great place. I'd never been there before. I would very much like to go again. It was awesome.
Do you want to comment on the dungeons? You took great pleasure in you took great pleasure in forcing me around that place.
Yeah, because Pab's king of the north.
I was. Yeah, apparently. I was selected, wasn't I? For
you are Sir Paul. And you looked more uncomfortable than any human has ever looked in history.
Yeah,
it was my favourite part of the weekend, watching how uncomfortable you looked.
I was uncomfortable. The entire thing I was uncomfortable, going, don't pick me, don't pick me.
Whereas I was there basically with my hand up saying, please pick me, and they never did.
Yeah. I didn't want to be picked, and they picked me, and I was...
Because they picked the most uncomfortable looking people.
Yeah.
Which is just mean. They should pick me, because I want to do it.
I messed up. They said line up against the wall, and I'd got sort of pushed out of the line in front of the line, and I was like stood in front of everyone else. So I was like, obviously they're going to pick me, aren't they? I stood forward for it. I basically volunteered to be picked. Oh, and I couldn't think of a name quick enough. I just went with my own name. I was really thinking of a stupid name.
Should have gone with the name quick enough.
I was like, just give me your own name. I didn't think of a stupid name. So yeah.
It was a dungeon tower, and Anna did the worst thing I've ever seen anybody do. She lied face down on the glass bottom thing, and I don't know how you didn't just pass out. It was just awful.
That doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. Heights. You could hold 5 ton. I'm not 5 ton of weight, so I was fine.
There's other people on there too.
So you got 5 ton is a lot of weight.
Yeah, it's a lot. I didn't know that. I didn't read that.
No, she told us when we were going on.
Oh, did she? I wasn't listening.
So that was fine.
It was horrible. Never going up there again. It's hideous.
Right.
You don't need to now. You've done it now. It's an experience.
Exactly.
You've done it now. Oh, this could be a nice segue. We went to the Madame Tussauds, didn't we?
We did.
And we saw Mr. Ed Sheeran.
We did.
Which we may or may not have seen in a TV programme this week.
Well, I haven't. I have seen him, but I didn't see the end of the show because somebody fell asleep. Anna fell asleep.
No, I didn't. You were. I kept going, Kevin, and you just kept falling asleep.
So we've only watched the first half of it.
So turn it off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So if you spoil it for me, I'll kill you in the face.
No. I just thought it'd be a nice transition into possibly TV.
In normal circumstances, it would be a beautiful transition. But unfortunately, we are yet to see the conclusion to this first episode. Although I did see enough to know that Ed Sheeran can't act. So... That was fine.
Were you one of the people who massively overreacted to him being in it? Because I didn't know he was going to be in it, and when he appeared, I was just like, "Oh, Ed Sheeran, all right." And
I knew it was happening.
And there were people online who were saying, like, it took me out of the fantasy of the world. It's all ruined for me now because all I keep thinking is celebrities can be. And I'm thinking, get a grip, you.
They're all celebrities, though, aren't they?
I don't know. I mean, I it came on, and I heard someone singing, and I was like, "There's a bit like Ed Sheeran." That I was like, "You wouldn't have Ed Sheeran." There's Ed Sheeran. I went, I'm a little bit like that sheepdog. I don't know how I feel about it in the sense of.
Well, I didn't find the acting particularly bad.
Not necessarily acting.
He didn't have much acting to do. He just smiled, talked a bit.
The fact of the matter is, he's not an actor, sheepdog. he's a singer, and he feels like he just sort of like wriggled his way onto. Someone's gone, well, I like Ed Sheeran, let's get Ed Sheeran on it. Or Ed Sheeran went, can I be on Game of Thrones? He went, yeah, all right then.
It's so that he can sing, that line about when your legs don't work like they used to Bran.
Right. Well,
that's what it's all building up towards.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't necessarily it took me out of the world, but it kind of annoyed me a little bit. I said, why is he in it? In a program where there are no realistically massive major actors in it, they're all proper actors. Why is there a singer suddenly in it? If he's there for that scene, then that's fine. But if he's some sort of, he probably won't be a reoccurring character, really.
Yeah, he was just there for a scene where he was doing a bit of singing.
Unless someone chops his head off.
No!
There'll be another outrage. Everyone going, why did you chop Ed Sheeran's head off?
Isn't he in it for a little while? I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't know where the story's going. I don't know where the story's going.
Either.
Possibly. So. But yeah, Game of Thrones was good this week. It's good to have Game of Thrones back.
I look forward to watching the end of it.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's a good episode.
I would like to watch it after this.
Editing or whatever.
Well, I've got to edit the vlog, but I can
apparently
do that whilst watching it. It's fine.
Apparently they got him on to as just a present for the girl who plays Arya. That makes sense. So they thought it would be a nice thing to do.
If it goes against what, well, no, I don't know. For me, it goes against what Game of Thrones is in the sense of it's an acting show. It feel like it's like a cameo for the sake of a cameo in the sense of they did it because I don't know. If it's one and done, I'm not that overly bothered about it. But
well, I think it was supposed to be the scene was supposed to be. Her learning that the people fighting against her people aren't monsters. They're just a bunch of blokes, trying to eke out a living in poverty. And Ed Sheeran sang a little song. And yeah, as I say, for the actress, it was meant to be a present getting to work alongside someone she really likes. It was just a random, they thought it'd be a good idea. They did it. People have made the guy go into bloody hiding over it, which is ridiculous.
Well, I don't know.
He's always in.
You don't need to do that. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, but he went on Twitter. He's like, this shouldn't be an issue, but I'll say it again. And he said what he had to say. I think people need to just get a grip, basically. Mm-hmm. I had no problem with him being on there. I was quite excited. So people just need to really get over themselves. Well, don't watch it if they're that against it. Stupid people. Just annoys me.
You tell them. They are stupid people.
What have they got to get fussed about? He's on it. He's not going to be off it now. They're not going to cut that whole section because it's a part of the story that's going on. So why have they got him out? It just makes me so angry that people get like that.
Was there anything else back this week? I mean, I watched my usual Orphan Black. That seems to be wrapping up. It's very hard to get into it at the moment because we didn't do much of it previously on, but it seems to be giving answers. Other than that, I don't think I watched anything else this week. Preacher.
I'm still watching Preacher.
Did we... have you seen much nonsense on the internet about the new Doctor Who?
Oh, it's a woman.
Yeah,
angry about it.
I've seen some funny.
Yes. Again.
BBC Two satirical stuff where they're saying it's like the most frightening introduction to Doctor Who in its entire history. A female, it's making people hide behind their sofas in horror. But no, she seems quite cool. Of course not. She's. I liked her in what's it called? Black Mirror. I did a bit of research on her after I read her name because I didn't really recognise her name. I recognised her face, and thought, "Oh, I know her from Black Mirror." But yeah, no problem. I'm waiting to see. I had a problem with David Tennant, Matt Smith. What's his name? Who started it all off in the new ones? Eccleston. Yeah, all three of them when they were first introduced. I thought, oh Jesus, they look awful. And I had a problem with Billy. I had a problem with Catherine Tate. I had a problem with Bill. The only time I've ever thought a Doctor seemed like a good idea from the offset, it was Capaldi, and he lived up to it eventually. But he was bad for a few episodes. Whereas I thought Eccleston was brilliant. I thought Rose was brilliant. I thought Donna was brilliant. Tennant and Smith were brilliant. So I'm always wrong when it comes to the casting on this. So I'm kind of just like,
she's going to be awful.
But I haven't said she's going to be good. I'm just waiting to see. I don't think
go on, Sheepdog.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think we can really say anything because, like, Capaldi never acted like a wacky Doctor Who style person before he did Doctor Who, and whilst I thought it'd be cool because he was angry and ranty and good at going off on one, I couldn't really imagine him being like it. But then, like this I forget the lady's name, but I've not seen her act like that. But I'm sure they're going to have tested it. Do you know what I mean? They're going to have put her through her paces. I didn't think Billie Piper could act before I saw her act, and then she could act. I said before about American Gods when Gillian Anderson came out as a completely random character, and I was absolutely shocked that she could act because I've only ever seen her play cynical, sciencey types that are really uptight, and I don't think I've ever seen her play anything that wasn't completely straight edge. And I was surprised. So I'm looking forward to just seeing what they do because, again, if she's not particularly, I don't know, bouncy or whatever, if she's not very like Tennant and Matt Smith, then they won't write it like that. They didn't write Capaldi like that. They wrote him like Capaldi could act, you know. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do because it might. I'm hoping it'll be refreshing that it won't be just some off the wall maniac who talks about eating fish fingers with custard and stuff like that.
I mean, it basically all depends on how the new writers come in and write her up what is, because she's only as good as what's put in front of her.
Exactly. I'm hoping people don't just feel the need to rate every episode.
It's difficult to say now because she's kind of she's on the line for it as well, because if the writing's bad for it, she's going to get slated whether it's the writers or not. So I don't know. It's new writers, new female Doctor, and they're probably going to go. I don't know whether they'll just slate her as well as the writers.
But then there's the other side of it. It could get Ghostbusters syndrome where the writing's absolutely atrocious, but you have to publicly act like it's the best film ever, like if you're that way inclined, because otherwise you feel like you're against it. I haven't seen all of the Ghostbusters film, but what I did see was terrible. I
didn't particularly like it that much.
I don't think I know anyone who genuinely liked it, but if you go online...
A new one?
Yeah.
The new one,
I liked it. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
The jokes were really, really, really lame.
Yeah, it was it's funny.
It was the writing that was lame. I don't have any issue with the actresses that were in it. Couple of scenes I thought were funny, but generally speaking, it was absolute like that. Is it Paul? What's the guy's name who writes it? He's terrible.
Not Paul Feig, is it?
I thought it was Feig, something like that. Feig.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me that thinks that. I don't remember Ghostbusters, the originals, being a comedy. In the sense,
well, they were.
It felt like, but they were sort of like films that had comedy in them. They weren't. They felt like a forced comedy.
Yeah, I get what I mean. They weren't in the comedy section of blockbusters. They'd be in the, I don't know, sci-fi or horror or whatever.
Yeah, it just wasn't like, I don't need gag after sight gag and then wacky for doing something stupid like chucking his glasses in the fish tank and stuff. I don't need this stupid gags and slapstick sort of stuff at times.
It's more subtle, isn't it? You can just tell that the blokes doing it were funny people, I guess. They brought a bit of
it was written to be a comedy, wasn't it?
Like trying to slap the ghost out of whichever character it was, and then the ghost leaving and continuing to slap her and slap her and slap her. And I just want no.
Anyway, we don't need to talk about Ghostbusters.
Yeah, we did actually see a current film this week, all of us together.
I saw two.
In Blackpool.
I saw two.
Well, I only saw one.
Yes.
We all went to see Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes.
And it was excellent.
Superb.
Although Anna didn't like it. Have you changed your mind? Now it's not night time.
Was asleep. I believe I was asleep on pub at some point.
But that doesn't make it a bad film. That means you were asleep.
I missed most of it, and I just don't want to watch a 15-year-old go around the screen. I have no interest in that. That seems a bit creepy.
Seriously cool. It felt like they'd designed it to be every kid/teenager who read the comics growing up and wanted to be super.
Yeah.
You know. And I was really surprised how much Robert Downey Jr. was in it. I really didn't expect that. I thought Hollywood loves to make you think that he is just saying, I'm not going to get out of bed unless you give me £100 million. But yes, I know he is being paid a lot, but he's earning it. I think he brought a lot to that film. That was great. I honestly didn't expect that.
I thought the villain was good. I can't remember his name now. Bloody hell.
Vulture or something.
Yeah. What's the actor's called? I can't remember his name now.
So, Keaton, isn't
Michael
it?
Keaton, that's the one. Michael Keaton. Hold on. I thought he was very good in it. I thought the twist with him was very good. When that twist happened, I had a smirk on my face going, that was good. That was clever. I didn't expect that at all. I really like that bit.
I didn't know whether any of the characters, other than I'm guessing Vulture was an original villain and everything like that.
Oh yeah, Shocker was as well.
I didn't know whether the people he went to school with were all canonical, because I don't remember there being like.
No, I don't remember that. I don't read the comic books that much. I don't know for certain, but
it's made me want to go and check them out, because I've always written off Spider-Man because I just felt like the films made him seem very lame, and like the old films, and the comics that I'd read weren't amazing. But now I just think actually,
apparently the latest one, was it Peter Parker, the Astonishing Spider-Man, something like that. The latest one of that, the latest iteration is supposed to be very good.
The whole Spider-Verse, multiverse thing, it seems.
The problem with it is just there's too much zigzagging across different comics, and it's trying to keep it all linked together and stuff. There's so much crossovers in that universe, it's frightening trying to keep up with it all. But yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming's in general very, very good. Very good.
It was indeed.
Do we know yet? They said they're going to bring out another film, which was interesting, because I didn't think they were allowed to.
Apparently they've got 2 and 3, haven't they? So.
Excellent. But does this mean he'll be involved in all of the Infinity War stuff?
Well, do we have to? Can we spoil it for a brief second?
What do you mean?
Announce a spoiler if you're going to spoil something.
Right, skip the next minute or so if we could, because I'm going to say not the specific ending, but I'm going to spoil it now. The end where he basically says no to the Avengers basically puts an end to him being in the Avengers next film, surely.
I don't know, because he sort of doesn't necessarily. He just says.
I'm fairly certain that is Sony going, well, we still want to keep him. We don't want him going straight over to there and just permanently being in there.
I thought the question was more a case of, great, yep, you're there, let's give you a proper role, and that's your life. And he's kind of gone, well, no, I help out when I can. I'll come and go. I need to go to school. I need to learn.
I feel like it's more like a rejection, like a no. I don't want to be an Avenger. I want to be me in my own little universe over here. So
he thought it was a test.
I don't know, but that's what it felt like to me. That's what it felt like.
He thought that was the right answer to give, and that there wasn't actually any offering as well. He says that, innit? I mean,
yeah, like that's how I read that, as that it was very much a you ain't going to see him in the Avengers, basically, because they've got enough stuff on. Well, then again, but the fact of the matter is, though, we've actually seen shots on set of Tom Holland on the set of the Avengers with Chris Pratt and Robert Downey Jr., so he probably is in it thinking about it.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, like, yeah, definitely. Like, even if it's just...
It'd probably only be
there would have been no point bringing out this movie if he wasn't going to be part of the overall thing. It would have just been pointless.
Yeah. I was going to say, actually, if Sony go and make more films, are they going to use him or are they going to use someone else?
No, they're going to need to use him. I think he is... Did I read somewhere that Ian inadvertently leaked that they have already got the go ahead for 2 and 3?
What's the incentive for Sony to make them themselves? At the moment, Sony just let Marvel make them and take the money.
Sony. Yeah,
there's no reason
still
for Sony
Sony
to
property.
Make movies.
Sony still owns Spider-Man.
But that film that we just watched, was that only a Sony film? I thought it was like a Sony Marvel film.
It's Marvel make it, and Marvel allow it to go into the Marvel universe, but it's still a Sony film. So Sony is going, you make it, we'll take the money, no problem.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
keep doing
so
that.
There's no incentive for that to stop happening for anyone.
Great. Yeah. Well, they should make that agreement with the X-Men.
They probably will.
But I think that they might do at some point, but the X-Men is relatively on a high at the minute with Logan. And
I was going to say, it only really needs to be Wolverine, doesn't it? He's the only one missing now out of the ones.
And that'd be a full reboot if they were putting him in the in the whatever universe, because Hugh Jackman ain't doing it anymore. But it's just, I don't know. I don't know whether necessarily Marvel want him either at the minute.
No, I think it'd be too much, wouldn't it? If
they've got enough on the plate as it is to put a whole another 20 other characters into it. Just be hectic as hell.
They're better off, if they're going to go down that route, just having an Inhuman who pushes metal out of his hands and regenerates, and just not even acknowledging that the X-Men ever existed. Yeah. That's pretty much what the Inhumans are anyway, isn't it?
The Inhumans are the enemies of the X-Men.
Did you see the trailer for the Inhumans? That's came out.
But in the whole what do you call it? So because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is in the Marvel universe, the cinematic universe, sorry, the Inhumans are just mutants in that. They've always been set up as look, people have started developing powers because of this, they're all mutants, and let's deal with that. And it's all very much like the X-Men never ever existed and never will exist. So, if they're following that as the rule now, then we don't need the X-Men, they've got the Inhumans.
Interesting.
It is indeed. What else have we watched then this week?
I saw War for the Planet of the Apes. I won't spoil anything because I know Anna would kill me. It was fantastic, though. Absolutely fantastic. Excellent special effects. I love the amount of money they've clearly spent on making this the best they could. Thought the sort of the baddies of the film were awesome. The general sort of story was very cool. Rounds off the trilogy perfectly. I hope have you heard any news about whether they're going to make Planet of the Apes and all the other, because it's like the original trilogy that came out decades ago. I'd love to see them remake them now, because obviously it won't just be people in weird ape masks looking silly. They can actually make ape people without CGI. But I can't wait for you to watch it because I think you'll enjoy it.
Well, I enjoyed the other two, but Kevin was like, "What's this Spider-Man?"
I did.
Well, no, I can get why you wanted Spider-Man's like the film of the summer.
But he's seen the other two ape films.
Although that said, despite me just literally saying it was the film of the summer, Planet of the Apes is currently number 1 in all the box offices in the UK, apparently.
Exactly.
Whereas, when did Spider-Man come out? The same
Probably.
day? Or was it out that week, or were we a bit late to it?
I think we were a week late. Pat was going to see it the week before, but didn't, because he wanted to see it with us because we're his heroes.
What a kind fella.
Isn't he? He's not even denying it either.
Those were the first 2 times that I can think of in my entire life that I went to the cinema and didn't eat popcorn as well, by the way.
Why didn't you eat popcorn?
Yeah, I didn't get popcorn either.
I don't know. I know why I didn't the first time, because the staff were just incredibly inept and I didn't want to
The second time because you just had dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had.
That's a good point. But
a very special
we
dinner.
did.
Literally just had food.
Yeah, we did.
no, I was rather confused. I mean, I spent most of the time chewing on my straw because I was just at a loss.
Did you not take any snacks of any kind in with you then?
No. As I say, I got a slushy and I chewed the straw for 2 hours.
Goodness me. It's remarkable behaviour. So, what else have folk been watching them? Anything else? TV? Movies?
I did watch a film.
What film?
I watched a film.
Watch, sir?
Like you said, I had the opportunity to go and watch Spider-Man the week before, and I didn't because you said don't go watch it. We will go watch it in Blackpool, so I didn't. I went and watched Baby Driver.
Doesn't sound like a real film.
Have you not heard of Baby Driver?
Nah.
It's the latest Edgar Wright film, and it is amazing. It's so good. Okay, so the premise is there's a young kid called who's named Baby, who is a getaway driver for Kevin Spacey, who is some sort of like gangster, mobster, criminal mastermind, who Baby basically steals his car when he's a young kid, and ends up having to work for him to work his debt off for stealing his car. So he is now his driver in all these like heists that he sets up. He sets up a number of heists in throughout the movie, and he is his wheelman basically. But Baby has tinnitus. So he listens to music to drown out the sound. So he listens to music throughout while he's driving and whatever, just to drown out all the sound of the tinnitus. And it's just an amazing film. It's so cool. It's shot really well. The soundtrack is amazing. It's a really cool story, and it's an Edgar Wright film. So I mean, what all the Cornetto trilogy.
Yeah, I was going to say, has he ever done anything any good that didn't involve Simon Pegg?
He did. What's it called now? What's it called? Something versus the World. Scott Pilgrim. It's a Scott Pilgrim film, which is very good as well, wasn't it?
Previous question.
Scott Pilgrim was good.
Nah.
But this film is so good. I mean, the opening, the opening start of this film, the opening bit is like basically showing the premise of what the film is, and he's in the car waiting for these guys to come out of the bank, and he's just tapping away to this music on in his headphones. He's just tapping away in the car, and then they run in the car, and he's just a really good driver. And he's just throwing the car around corners, doing J turns and all sorts of different, like spinning the car, and it's just amazing. It's just really cool to watch. Just if you like car chases and like stunts and what have you, it's so good. Like I said, it's got Kevin Spacey in it, Jamie Foxx, John Hamm. John Hamm? Yeah, I think it's John Hamm. And it's just really cool. It's really cool. And it kind of, at the time when I watched Spider-Man last week, I was thinking all the time, this isn't as good as Baby Driver. So for me, but thinking on it, I still enjoy Spider-Man, but I really enjoyed Baby Driver, and I would encourage people, if you like Edgar Wright films, I'd give it a watch without a doubt.
I was tempted until you said car chases.
Do you not like car chases? Everybody likes car chases.
No, they don't. It's always the boring part of the film that I'd just happily fast forward or not have in there.
There's something wrong with you then.
Why? It's just cars driving fast. No, they don't. Only people who like cars like car chases.
Yeah, but it's just the way this is shot, though, in sync with the music and everything that just flows together. It's just beautifully shot. It's just really well done, like an Edgar Wright film. It's just really cool. I really enjoyed it. So give it a chance. At least if it comes on Sky.
I'd rather see that monkey film, and I didn't like the second one of them.
Monkey film?
Yeah, the one these two were talking about, the monkey film.
Oh, I've not seen the monkey film. I keep meaning to watch.
Even I didn't know what you were on about.
But the second one of that was rubbish because they didn't really talk. I'm not interested in monkeys doing sign language. The first film, it was all about James Franco knocking about the place, and he was in that, wasn't he? Was he the man who had the monkey? And it was a story about a man, and that was fine. But then the second one, it was all about the monkeys, and they didn't even talk, and it was rubbish, so boring, the second one. So if the third one's more monkeys doing sign language, I'll give that a miss as well.
It's a mixture of both.
Ugh. I don't want to have to look at it while it's on. I want to be able to play Football Manager and just listen to it like I do all films.
That's the thing, you don't use multitasking. You can't just sit and watch a film, can you?
No, it's boring.
Yeah, just don't bother watching films anymore. There's no point.
Yeah, let Anna watch it on her own.
Let her enjoy it on her own, yeah. But you moaning.
Well, can't they just talk? They've talked now. Why can't they just always talk? I don't see why.
Put audio
because some haven't learned, and some are.
That's just stupid. Don't give the ones who can't be bothered to talk any screen time. Let them do their sign language off camera. I don't know. As the guy filming this, I don't know why you'd focus on the ones who can't talk yet. It's just stupid.
Because it's film, not a radio show.
Yeah, so film's fun stuff happening. Monkeys wandering around not talking is no different from going to the zoo. The thing that makes these monkeys interesting is that they talk to each other. Otherwise, they're just monkeys.
Sorry, if I go to any zoo where there's a monkey doing sign language.
Well, that's any
There
zoo.
are quite a few monkeys that do sign language.
I've not been to a zoo and a monkey going, give me a banana.
I went to a zoo once, and inexplicably, I don't know why I did it, but I basically waved at the orangutan, and as I was walking in the door, and he come bounding over to me, and on the other side of the glass, put his hand up against the glass, and I put my hand up against the glass, and people actually came over thinking, this guy must work here, because me and the orangutan just basically connected.
Actually, they came over and one of these monkeys has got out and is trying to get back in again.
Yeah, he's recognised you.
These two twins are reunited.
Yeah, but it was really cool. I got a couple of pictures of it, like right up close. They're on my Facebook.
And then one of the staff come and put you back in with them.
But yeah, they're very clever, and I don't really know why. I reckon he probably thought he recognised me.
But yeah, that was interesting because he was doing stuff. Otherwise, don't put him on camera. Simple.
Right.
Monkey films fixed. I reckon you could probably condense it all down into one film and just cut out the bits where there's no talking. Sheepdog, you need a website where you rewrite it. Yeah, rewrite it and take out all the bits that don't have any dialogue.
You can submit it as a request when I either in a comment or when I set up my requests section, and I'll figure it out.
I shall do that.
Although I'm satisfied with how it went. I need to be kind of sat there expecting it to go one way and it go another way. That's generally what happens. I mean, if I'm starting to scrape the barrel lever, I'll probably rewrite a few Doctor Who finales, but I don't really know whether I can be bothered that much. But there's been a few times where it feels like they backed themselves into a corner and they couldn't figure a way out of it, and it seemed quite obvious to me that they could have made an epic story out of it, and they just went, magic wand.
Yeah, because it's a kids' show. They have to do it the simple way.
Yeah. Sometimes I think a lot of films and TV shows and cartoons and even kids shows just don't give their audience enough credit. I think a kid would just take it for granted whatever happened. They're never going to be like, I didn't understand that. I was watching it, this was maybe 10 years ago. I found an old video of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that I used to watch all the time as a kid, and so I put it on like before I threw it out. I just thought, I wonder whether this is actually any good as an adult, and I never understood a bloody word they were talking about. They were talking all these made up nonsense technobabble computer words, and I thought, I can't believe I watched this a million times as a kid and could follow it, and as an adult actually listening to the words, and none of it makes sense. Quality writing doesn't care how clever the person watching it is.
I see. It doesn't sound like that's quality writing though, if it's nonsense. It's like Micro Machines syndrome all over again. It was good for kids.
No, I think so. I'm trying to think of an example of a program that would do it, but most of the shows we watch collectively at the moment don't try and be accessible for everyone, do they? You don't watch Breaking Bad, and it's trying to appeal to the lowest common denominator. It's just trying to get on with its story and be a bit clever and make you think, wow. And if you're not clever enough to do that, then screw you. And that's how shows should be.
But then what would the stupid people watch?
Well, they can either adapt, catch up and figure it out, or they can just stare at paint drying.
Watch Big Brother.
Splendid. Anna, I feel like you've been watching lots of things this week, and I can't remember what any of them are. Anna.
Neither can she.
Yeah, I think she's muted herself, which seems odd. Anna, we can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah, I was watching the season trailer from Walking Dead.
Ooh. I resisted, you cheeky girl. I thought we're on a podcast. I'll wait and not watch it.
No, because normally it comes up and it's like, not available in your country. So if I'm going to watch it, I'm going to watch it now because they'll take it
down.
In
America.
I mean.
Yeah, good point.
So
I noticed it had already been stopped in Brazil.
Because you're in Brazil.
I sent Kevin a picture and I was like, I don't quite know what it means. Kevin, look at your pictures.
I can't at the moment.
Oh, okay. But it was all splendid. It was great. I don't think I've watched anything this week. I don't think. I can't remember. It's been such a bad week this week.
Yeah, sorry. You've had a horrid week, haven't you? Bless you.
Yeah. So I think I just watched things in a blur, but I don't remember what any of them were. God, I don't know. No idea.
Splendid. Any more funny more then on TVs and movies, or are we moving on?
We can move on. Was it on the episode we were talking about desktop space randomly earlier?
No,
or was that off the show?
Before.
That was off the show.
Because I've just started tidying my desktop off the back of that conversation, and some of the things on there are ridiculous. I just found a picture called "If I'm attacked at random and end up in hospital, this is the person what did it." I don't even know why I put what did it, but it's a picture of a guy basically threatening to kill me on Facebook. I'm like, when? I completely forgot that happened. But yeah, I've said it publicly now. If I'm mysteriously taken out, that's the guy that did it, apparently.
What are you?
I don't know what I am.
I don't have that sort of stuff on my desktop. I've got to be honest with you.
I don't normally. I'm a little bit confused, but oh well.
Strange old sheepdog's at it again.
Yeah.
Anna, are you sticking around for comics, or are you saying goodbye?
I'll listen.
Splendid.
What
have you crazy kids been reading this week then? I don't think I've read anything because we've been away and didn't.
Have you not?
I took stuff with me,
been busy,
but didn't read it.
Did you?
Yeah.
Same to you, really. I did read them. Well, one of them. I had a little moan to you both that I basically. So I said to my wife, I want to buy some comics, and she said, "Finish the ones you've got." So I finished.
Cruel woman.
Yeah,
that's not the way it works. Did you explain that's not the way it works?
I tried, and then I thought, okay. So I finished Sex Criminals Volume 2.
She's got a point, though.
No, she doesn't.
Right,
That's not how it works.
I read Sex Criminals Volume 2. Thought it was really good. Is Volume 3 out yet?
I think so.
I'm probably miles behind or something, but
I feel like it's quite a lot of it now.
I feel like the first volume was a bit better, but it was still fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to that being a show. But once I'd read that one graphic novel, I thought, okay, I did as I was told. I read one, so I bought 3 more.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah.
So I ended up getting Sandman 9 and 10, and then there was like a spin-off one about his sister who's deaf, basically. And what I didn't realise when they came in, they're like twice the size of 1 through 8. Like these 3 books could have quite easily been 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, but they're just 9, 10, and random side one. So I've been churning through 9 for what feels like ages. I mean, it's great. It's a fantastic book, like really, really, really cool. But I feel like I've been reading it forever. But I was having a bit of a whinge to Pab at Blackpool because I opened it up and I thought, I don't normally read the forewords in these books. I'll have a look through this one. It's I'd read one by Stephen King of a couple of books back and thought the foreword was pretty decent. Neil Gaiman randomly got Stephen King to write about his series. So I don't know who the fella was in book 9, but he literally starts his foreword with telling you how the book you're about to read ends. And I just stared blankly at the page and thought, no, I misread that, surely. Read it again and thought, no, I did read it right. And then I was just like, do I carry on reading this now? And then he said about how the whole series kind of ended, and I thought, well, you just there's like a bloody 200 pages worth of comic here that I'm now just reading, knowing what's going to happen. And I was having a little sigh, and my wife's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Well, this moron that's written the foreword is basically, I think he thought he was writing an epilogue or something."
I guess he assumes people who are buying the collected edition have already read it in issues, and they're just buying it to have a collected edition.
And what a monstrous thing to assume!
Yeah, that's.
But I mean, it hasn't really spoilt anything, because I think the story kind of, they're never predictable. They're never like, this is what's going to happen or whatever. But you do kind of, having been reading them for a while, you get a feel for where it's heading a little bit. And so I don't know whether I'm just picking up on it because I know, or whether it would have been picked up on anyway. But I feel better now. I'm like halfway through book 9 than I did. But that night I was trying really hard to just ignore it, block it out of my memory, forget all about it. But I even contemplated putting it back in my pile and not going back to it for a couple of years so I could just forget. But I know what I'd do. It'd have been 2022 or something. I'd have opened it and gone, forward, I'll have a read of this. And I'd have ended up reading it again and putting it off another 5 years. Yeah. All the way to my deathbed, wondering how it ended.
That's a bit ambitious. You think you got another 10 years in you?
Not really. I find out on Tuesday.
What are you going to find out the day you die?
Yeah, probably. I don't really know what I'm going to find out, but we'll see. Maybe I'll put off reading Death until I know. I don't really want to. But anyway, that series, I've said it so many times now. It is awesome. I do think you guys would like it. It's just nice. Do you remember when you told me to read that? The bloke who writes Dilbert, I forget what it was called.
Scott Adams,
the
God's Debris.
Yeah, and I sat and read that in like an evening. It's that kind of imaginative. It paints a picture in your mind. Even there's pictures on the page as well because it's a comic. But it just sends you off on one in your head. And I love reading it before bed because I have some amazing dreams after reading it. Anna's had enough. It's just amazing. I really recommend it. I'm trying to think. I'm sure I read other stuff because there was another comic I picked up and pushed through. But I'm trying to get my wife to read a comic series out of the many that we frequently read, and I think I've settled on getting her to read Wicked and the Divine.
Not a bad choice.
Yeah. She hasn't yet read it, but I just think that because I've got the first one of that lying around, so I can give it to her and say read it. But I'm trying to think if there's a better choice that's there that might have got her into them. Because I sort of told her a few of the premises of them, and she thought like 3 or 4 of them sounded pretty good.
Papers might not be a bad show.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good shout. Yeah, trying to describe sex criminals to her, I was just like, maybe not. I mean, not because of the sex, just because of the ludicrousness of it.
Yeah, the actual idea of it itself. Yeah,
yeah. I think every time I ever mention it, she just wonders what the hell.
And she's like, "What?
Like, what are you into?"
Yeah.
Just give her Sunstone then. Let her read that.
Oh yeah.
I don't think she'd get into something like Squirrel Girl. Did I speak about it on the show? Or did we talk about it last week? I can't remember now, about the TV series they're doing with Squirrel Girl.
I know nothing about this.
No.
Yeah, it's Marvel Heroes or something like that. Yeah, live action. I'll just find out quickly.
I think I've vaguely heard something about it. I don't know where. I don't even know if you might have told me about it, but I feel like
it's New Warriors. It's called, and it's Squirrel Girl, and then a few other heroes. There's a guy who can communicate with germs and find out where you've been and what you've been doing and that sort of thing. There's a girl who has telekinesis powers but can't really lift anything more than a paperclip. Squirrel Girl, obviously. I feel a little bit like they've paired the epic Squirrel Girl up with a bunch of not so popular strong people. There's a guy that can fire energy balls but can't control where they go. Mr. Immortal, who can't die but also can't see the point in trying to do anything because it's not really going to change his outcome. He can't die, so he's just going to take it easy and just watch how things play. And then I'm not really sure, there's one called Night Thrasher, but they didn't really describe what he does other than self-promotion. Even in I'm reading a wiki quickly now, and it's just saying he's a celebrity hero with a YouTube channel. He's strong and noble, but he's full of himself and self-promotes himself, and I don't really get what his power is. But
sounds like his power is being awesome.
I was going to say, that sounds like up your street, Kev. That doesn't it? Celebrity YouTuber.
Exactly. This is my new best friend.
Yeah.
But no, interestingly, like, Squirrel Girl and Tippy Toe will be in it, and I imagine very soon she'll just be the leader because the others are a little bit weird. She's going to be played by someone called Milana Alexandrovna Weintraub, who I have no idea who that is. Milana Weintraub. She's got a squirrel.
Yeah.
Apparently she's awesome. I look forward to seeing her play. I can't wait. Let's face it, I don't really care who the other characters are. A Squirrel Girl show will be awesome. I kind of hope if it doesn't go well, they at least just give her a Squirrel Girl spin-off or something.
Maybe.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to the I think it's 2018 it comes out, so I suppose there'll be leaks of what she'll look like in the show and all that sort of stuff over time.
Awesome sauce. I'm trying to think if I've read anything at all, but I really don't think I have. Pab, have you had anything?
Yes, I am plowing through Preacher books now.
About time too.
So last time we recorded, I think I was on my way through book 4. I've now finished book 4, and this week I finished book 5. How many books were there? Because I've ordered book 6 now, and I can't find any more
either 6 or 8. I can't remember.
I can't find any more past 6 on Amazon. So I'm like, I don't know. I think that could be it.
I just typed in Preacher Volume 8 and it came up.
Yeah, but is it Volume 8 or Book 8 though?
Oh, right.
Because the books are the thicker ones, aren't they? Than the volumes themselves. So there's a lot more volumes than there are books. So I think possibly books.
Right.
I think. You found it?
No.
I don't know. I was just very I can't find any more books past 6. So I was like, right, okay. I ordered book 6 and I kind of inadvertently ballsed up because I ordered it from not Amazon Direct. I ordered it through like third party sort of sellers on Amazon. Still new, but it was like £5 cheaper.
I recommend always getting them from Book Depository on Amazon.
I use Book Depository a lot.
Yeah, they give you those cool little bookmarks.
Yeah, I've got a few of them now. And I normally would have done, but it was £2 dearer from them. So I was like, well, all right, okay, I'll just get it from this one at the top. But it's still got 5-star reviews.
£2 pays for the bookmark.
Well, right, I will trust me. In future, I will not use this other company that I ordered from this time, because it said your book's been dispatched. I went, oh, great, okay. Estimated arrival date August.
Yeah.
What? August 17th. I was like, where's it coming from? I have ballsed up big time. I thought I'll order it midway through book 5, so it should be here probably starting next week, so I can finish it then. It's coming middle of August. I have really messed this up now.
Apparently, there are 6 books, so that's spot on. Because there's only 66 comics, so yeah.
So I have finished book 5, and book 5 covers basically the end of the previous one was him falling out the plane and losing his eye, and then book 5 starts with him in where he becomes sheriff of I can't remember what it's called now. What's the turn of it's called? I can't remember what it's called. Salvation.
Yeah, it goes a bit random, doesn't it? At that point,
just like a little offshoot of a story.
At the time when I was reading it, I felt like they kind of just thought, we're at the end, let's do another 16.
It got to the end of book 4 was the bit where Jesse sees Tulip with I have blank on his name now. Cassidy, and then he just disappears for a while, and he ends up in this place to become the sheriff. And this is where the King Cannon story comes from, which is part of series 1 of the TV show, and the meat factory stuff, and this little weird fellow who's determined to get him, which I enjoyed that story arc. I really did enjoy the story arc where Jesse's just basically a badass, not really using his power. He's the voice thing that he's got, and he's just like being a badass. And then it goes on to be like where he goes. He realised that it's like probably 3/4 of the book is all about in this town, in this town as sheriff, and then he goes on to like I've got to finish what I've started sort of thing. And he's on his way back to go and find Tulip, but then he's got to remember how he survived the plane crash.
I think it kind of just ties things up a little bit.
Yeah,
in other stories, doesn't it?
Yeah, because now he had to find out how he survived falling out the plane, and now he's got one eye, and it inevitably shows a bit where he meets God. Where I think it's God that saves him, and he's like, "I saved you. Stop this quest to find me," sort of thing.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna let you crack on if you leave me alone.
Yeah. It's really good now. It's getting towards the end. Now, like I said, there's like they're starting bringing other previous like side characters into it again, just like sort of tying things up a little bit now, just doing odd cameos. But oh yeah, I remember him. I remember that person. Yeah, and they've brought them back together now. Right at the end of this book 5 of
The Rise of Arseface is the main story.
That is completely different in the thing. That's why I'm not. After reading this, I'm like, why are we doing this weird story arc where in the TV program where they send Arseface to hell? I was like, is that a story in the last book? I don't know.
I think it's just their way of having him in it because he's such an iconic character, but they're not at the point where he becomes relevant. So it's
a completely different take on it, though, isn't it? Because he's not. In this, he's a pop star, basically.
Well, I think they'll get that'd be like Preacher season 5 or something, wouldn't it? I imagine.
You're assuming he's getting out of hell because in the TV show he's chumming up with Hitler at the minute, which is bonkers. He's getting all matey with Adolf Hitler.
I'm sure they've got it planned out, and they
So I don't know. I look forward to finishing this entire series. I'm kind of relieved now. Like, okay, book 6. It's going to be. I'm actually going to get to an end of a book series that I really wanted to, and I was looking forward to reading it next week. Although it's going to be a month away now before I can read the end of it. But I did get. I did what you did, Sheepdog, and obligatory ordering of more books, and they have come this week. The latest Clean Room's out, Kev.
Oh, is it? I may have to investigate.
The latest volume of Clean Room's out, so I went, yep, okay, I'm having that one. And then I went, okay, I'm sure because what I've started doing now with Forbidden Planet, it's a bit of a rip-off with, they take forever with delivery. It takes a week for them to deliver stuff. And they charge like $5 for delivery, something stupid. I'm not. So I just stacked, I've been keeping a backlog of books that I'm going to order. I spent like 40, 50 quid in last week, because I've been backlogging them. So I bought Clean Room, that came out. I bought 2 Young Animal books. I bought the Cave Cast and Has a Cybernetic Eye, which I thought was alright from what I remember. I can't remember now. Anyway, I said I'll give all the Young Animal books a chance. I will give them a chance. I bought Shade the Changing Girl. That looks kind of out there again, as a Young Animal book is. And I've got the first volume of Exo Manowar, which I read the first issue. I got a free copy of that ages ago when it first came out, and I enjoyed it. So I'm going to give that one a chance as well, because it seemed really cool. But first on my list next week will be Volume 3 of Clean Room, because I really like that. That is up there.
I thought I had that pre-ordered. I guess it's because I've got it on Amazon maybe, and it'll be a couple of weeks.
It's not out yet. Yeah, it's not out on Amazon yet. That's the thing.
That'll be why. It'll turn up on my doorstep at some point in the next few weeks, I imagine. I'm now logging into Amazon to check that I have got it ordered, but I don't understand why I wouldn't have it ordered.
I think it's the start of August. I did check that, and I was like, right, well, if I'm going to order a few books, I might as well get them all. And I'm in no rush to get them, because I thought I was getting a Preacher book, which is now coming in the middle of August, because I'm a numpty. And that's your lot.
25th of July, so it's this week on Amazon.
Oh, there you go then. So 2 weeks after, yeah. That's about right.
Splendid.
That's your lot then.
Awesome. Well, I think that's everything. I'm certain I've read something, but I just can't remember what it is. I might have to start making notes again now that I've got pens at home, because I brought them all home from work. Haven't had a pen at home for months. Yeah. Living in luxury land now.
Time you're going to have in your retirement. Yeah.
I'm not going to have time. Busier than ever, Sheepdog. Busy. So, are you aware, boys and girls, that you can... did we mention on here that we're not doing a show next week, maybe? Or at some point?
No, we didn't mention it on here.
I think we'll go 2 weekly over summer. I think that'll be the official word. We've been doing it basically anyway. Let's make it official. Unless anything pressing comes up, and then we'll go back to a weekly schedule once we get into silly season, and it becomes worth having a weekly schedule. Does that sound reasonable?
That does sound reasonable. It's something that I was thinking when I couldn't do last week because I wasn't well. But yeah, I'm up for that.
Splendid. So we'll do 2 weekly throughout summer. So we'll have next week off, and then we'll be back the following week, because I'm missing loads of Fridays anyway with various stuff over the next few months. So it makes sense to not try and record on a Tuesday or anything silly like that. So, are you aware that you can follow us on Twitter at MGUK Podcast, or you can follow me at Lelujo?
You can follow me at RB6K, and you can read my nonsense at Sheepdog Rights.
I'm at Pub1986.
And Anna's at Miss Lelujo, but she seems to have disappeared. We're also on Facebook at facebook.com/MatureGamerPodcast, and my awesomeness, none of this nonsense, my awesomeness is available at lelujo.fm, and at lelujo.fm/store you can now buy the Kevin Chapman Show t-shirt, which is the finest t-shirt that has ever been produced by anybody. It's only available for a week. You too can look like the icon that is Kevin Chapman when he's wrestling.
Is it only available for a week because you're scared of copyright infringement?
Yep.
Thought so.
Yeah, I just wanted one for myself and thought, well, I'll buy one for myself, leave it on sale for 10 days, and hope WWE don't sue me in that time. But I did look at all their shirts on their website, and so much of their stuff is rip-offs of other people. Like they've got
but they employ a massive bunch of wrestlers that could beat anyone up who tried to threaten them. Yeah, when you employ loads and loads and loads of muscle-bound steroid addicts.
On Twitter this afternoon, I'm the Universal Champion, so I'll take them all on.
I think their listeners and followers will outnumber yours and be stronger than them.
We'll see. They won't be able to find me anyway, because I'll just run away.
Yeah,
I'm an athlete.
Can't catch a dead man.
Can't catch an athlete. Those roided up monsters won't be able to run as far as me.
Speaking of being an athlete, go to the beer festival tomorrow.
No, it's just full of people drinking beer. Can't think of anything worse.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Well, bring your camera along, sit and do some filming, and hang out with me and the family.
Might run past being an athlete.
Yeah, people will just be drinking beer.
There might be a gin tent or something there.
Beer makes my face hurt.
If there's gin, I'll text you and you can turn up.
Yeah, maybe. Be busy. I'm working tomorrow, Sheepdog.
You don't have a job. You're retired.
How dare you? You're a monster. Retired my eye. Right, I'm going to go and edit the vlog, so I have to disappear now. Bye-bye, everybody.
Toodaloo. Have a good week. 2 weeks.
Yeah, thanks for listening, folks.
Bye.